Next is Dr. John Caldwell, who is a distinguished colleague, award-winning documentary filmmaker, and a professor in cinema and media studies. John has lectured all over the world and is known to Teshome for over 30 years. John?
I miss Teshome. Over my 16 years here at UCLA, I saw and interacted with him on a daily basis, probably more than anyone else. And I gradually learned to verbalize what this was all about. On any given day, I would approach him, determined to find out what pastoral wisdom does my Ethiopian brother have for me today. Perhaps he reminded me of something from my past, my agricultural background, something I couldn't find anywhere else in academia. Teshome, that is, was always grounded in his thinking. The earth and the world we live in somehow resonated and informed his most sweeping theoretical speculations about media and culture. The ruin, the traveler, the migrant, the hybrid, the nomad, the stranger in a strange land. The most challenging thing in film studies and cultural theory is to try to explain exceptionally complicated media phenomena in the most accessible, general, and vivid ways. Teshome's pastoral metaphors, were they from another century, from another time, from another life, I puzzled? Allowed him to do just this, to cut through the verbiage that other scholars pile high to make sense of new things, but which frequently stand as impenetrable thickets that earnest graduate students must hack through for a few years before fashionably moving on to another theoretical pile, hedgerow, and thicket. Teshome was always quietly clearing this kind of land and brush. Teshome's radar was always up. He could see the horizon and the fence lines around him here as clearly as he read the faces of those right in front of him. He always seemed to recognize when individual students were in tough straits. And he spent many days over the years helping students to better meet the challenges, predicaments, and financial difficulties they faced. Teshome's magic was powerful. In championing the marginalized, Teshome did far more than entrench the neat categories of resistant identity politics. In fact, I saw an improbably wide and diverse range of students identify with and latch on to his words and vision, claiming them as their own. From Los Angeles African-American and Latino students to white, rural, working class kids from the Central Valley, who all somehow voiced the same sentiments after taking his classes. Teshome's vision of the world had become their vision of the world. Teshome's magic was indeed resonant, and it was always available to anyone that listened and watched him work through images, sounds, and stories, always the stories. Finally, Teshome gave UCLA its human face. Without folks with heart on its faculty, a university is simply a cold bureaucracy, a stark and predictable set of well-meaning policies, a public sector business, really. Many retirees from other universities I've been at find with resignation that they'd misrecognize their employer of decades. Thinking them to be family, they discover them after separation to be just so much self-perpetuating bureaucratic infrastructure. Teshome's life and work on campus here offers a different model for all of us who survive him at UCLA. That the human dimension, if tended properly, is what survives in the hearts and minds of students and colleagues long after they leave the university. Of course, Teshome's heart and fraternity were not invented at UCLA. They were surely direct extensions of his family life and the long histories he shared with his loved ones. We will always be indebted to Maza and to Teshome's children, Medifget and Sagai, both of whom he was very, very proud of, as I learned on many occasions. I want to thank them, they're sitting up here, for allowing us to be a part of Teshome's broader family. Over the past few months, around campus and in Westwood, I'm regularly taken aback when I walk through certain places. I count at least 7 of these spots on campus where Teshome met with students and faculty and me, and 2 in Westwood, where, to my surprise, after completing a run at 9 p.m. at night, I often stumble across Teshome reading and talking with friends over coffee about the latest New York Times nonfiction bestseller or public policy issues at a sidewalk cafe in the village. For all of his ageless pastoral wisdom, he was also far better read and current than I was. I remember Teshome in each of these places, and on many occasions, I still feel him, see him, when I pass by and pause at those places now. In some ways, this landscape and this sense of presence makes complete sense. After all, Teshome helped clear and tend the fields at UCLA. And lots of good things have grown here because of the seasons Teshome chose to work among us.